I wanted to come back and do another health tip, kind of weight loss tip for the day. And what I want to talk about today is portion size and how to kind of measure out your portions when you're looking at a plate. I know it's really hard when you go to a restaurant and they bring you out this plate and it's like full. Well, the general size when you go to a restaurant is 2 meals to 1 plate. Like, they definitely give you a lot bigger portions, a lot bigger servings than what you actually need. And even if you look up on like the restaurant's website, you can see their nutrition before you go, which is something I always do. If I'm going somewhere that I've never been before and, I'm trying to stick with my diet, I'm trying to stick with my eating plan, then I will always look up the website before we go and figure out what is going to be the best option for me to look at. That way when I get there, I kind of have a better feel for the menu and just kind of a better feel for the restaurant, which is really helpful. So that's a good tip. But one thing you can do is either when you order it, when they bring it to you, go ahead and ask for a box and you can pack up half of it for the next day, because there's a lot of times I'll get something and that's always been my big downfall is portions. And so one thing you can do is have them go ahead and box it up for you or go ahead and get a box. Because there's sometimes that I say, oh, I'll only eat half of this, and then you're like, oh, it's so good, and you eat all of it, and then you feel like crap because it hits you and you're like, oh, I shouldn't have eaten all that. So that's a good tip when you go out to a restaurant is go ahead and get a box. They don't care. You don't know the person working there. It's not going to make a difference, like, what they think. I will customize it to the end. Like, I'll be that girl. I did it today. I went and got a grilled chicken salad with honey mustard, and I had to do no cheese, no croutons, no tomatoes, because I don't like tomatoes, no blue cheese dressing. I think that was everything. So I pretty much got lettuce, grilled chicken, and honey mustard. That was my salad. And then I had other stuff on the side with it too. But, I have no problem customizing something. They really don't care. Like, yeah, it might be a hassle for the waiter or the waitress, but that's their job. That's what they're there for. As long as you're polite about it, they really aren't going to mind. So those are just my tips when you go out to a restaurant. Do not feel bad about saying, don't use butter when you cook my vegetables. Can I have my vegetables steamed? Can you please not use butter or, like a fattening type of oil when you're cooking my steak or my chicken? There's lots of things like that you can do that are going to make it better. But what I want to talk about also is when you get home and you're cooking is plate size and how to look at your plate no matter where you are and figure out what your portion size should be and where the proportions are. One thing that we have had this plate since I was a child, and I don't know if anyone else has plates like these, but they're divider plates. I'm also one of those people that doesn't like my food to touch. Like if I have something runny, like with gravy or I don't know what else is runny, like salsa or something, I don't want it to like run into the next item. I'm just weird like that. Sorry, it's a personal thing. But we have these divider plates. And I'm not saying that your plate has to be a divider. I'm just saying it's, this is a good example. And basically, the way when you look at a plate, it should be half of it should be your vegetables and your fruits. So half of this plate should be full of green and bright colors and all of like the healthy, fruits and vegetables. A fourth of your plate should be your protein, your meat, whether it's chicken, steak, pork, any kind of lean type of meat. It should be a fourth of your plate. You're probably going, oh my God. So what's this? Carbs. This is your pasta. This is your rice, which is a pasta. This is your bread. Like, when you're looking at your plate, it should be majority of vegetables, fruits, salad, anything like that, and then your meat and your protein. When it comes to meat, the general rule is the palm of your hand. And that's about the size that a piece of meat should be for one serving. When it comes to your carbs, I want to say it's a deck of cards. I know there's something that's a deck of cards. I need to find that out. It's either your meat is supposed to be the size of a deck of cards or your carbs are a deck of cards, something like that. But this is the basic breakdown for your plate. So I thought that might be kind of handy so that way you can get a kind of better judge on it. And just make sure it's basically just eat as much. Vegetables are better for you than fruits because they have less sugar in them. I love broccoli. Like, that is my go-to, broccoli and carrots, but that's just me. I know some people hate broccoli. Like, some people like tomatoes, and I can't stand tomatoes. Another tip I have is plate size. We have I know, all sorts of different plates. But this is like our average dinner plate that we have in my house. So whenever they're doing dinner, my family normally grabs out this plate. One thing that I'll do is I'll grab out a smaller plate. I'll use a plate that's going to be a smaller size, so that way you're not filling as much area. You know, it's like you really don't need to eat this, you know, a big plate worth of food. You're still going to be full off of, you know, a slightly smaller plate. You know, so it's just another tip that I have is, you know, if you are eating something, like say you're going to eat pizza, or, you know, you're going to eat, I don't know, something bad, and you're like, you know, you really want to do it, and you want to cheat, and you want to have something bad, then just do it in portions. You know, that's really a big thing. Like, you can eat Mexican, you can eat Italian, you can eat, you know, whatever your favorite food is if it's not good for you, as long as you do it in a smaller portion. You know, that's why I love those little, like, miniature-sized candy bars, because I'm a girl. Girls love chocolate, you know, we love stuff like that. So instead of eating a giant Hershey bar, I can eat this, and I'm satisfied, and I don't need 2 of them, like, that, you know, cut my sweet tooth right there. So stuff like that is mainly with portions. So those are my little plate tricks that I have is, you know, fill it up halfway with, like, greens, vegetables, fruits, and then do your meat and your carb. And also you can just use a smaller plate. So there's all sorts of little tricks and tips and stuff like that when it comes to eating, and I hope that this is helpful and maybe gives you guys a different idea, something that you haven't thought about. If you guys have any questions or comments, you know, leave it down below in the comment box, and I will talk to you guys all soon. Thank you guys so much for watching, and good luck to everyone. Bye.